The galactic tragedy. In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, the human exploration vessel, the Horizon, embarked on a daring mission to explore uncharted territories. Their ship, sturdy and well-equipped by human standards, was seen as a relic by the advanced alien civilizations that dominated the galaxy. Despite their humble beginnings, the crew of the Horizon, led by Captain Alina Ramirez, pressed onward, driven by an unshakable belief in humanity's potential. During their mission, they encountered numerous alien species, each more technologically advanced and formidable than the last. The crew faced ridicule and scorn from their extraterrestrial counterparts who mocked their outdated technology. Undeterred by the mockery, Captain Ramirez and her crew continued their journey, their determination unwavering. One day, while exploring a remote sector of the galaxy, the Horizon detected anomalous energy readings emanating from an asteroid field. Curiosity piqued, Captain Ramirez ordered the ship to investigate, unaware of the incredible discovery that awaited them. As they approached the asteroid field, the crew was astounded by the sight of a massive ancient structure, a gateway of sorts, shimmering with otherworldly energy. Determined to unlock the secrets of the enigmatic gateway, Captain Ramirez and her crew set about deciphering its alien technology. Their efforts were met with frustration and setbacks, as the intricacies of the ancient device defied human understanding. Meanwhile, news of the discovery spread across the galaxy, drawing the attention of the very alien civilizations that had once mocked the Horizon. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the human crew refused to give up. Through ingenuity, determination, and sheer force of will, they made progress where others had faltered. Finally, after months of tireless effort, the crew achieved a breakthrough. With a series of carefully calibrated adjustments, they activated the gateway, causing it to shimmer and pulse with newfound energy. As the gateway hummed to life, a rift in space-time opened before them, revealing a pathway to realms beyond imagination. It was a moment of triumph for humanity, a testament to their resilience and ingenuity in the face of adversity. But as the crew prepared to step through the gateway and embark on a journey into the unknown, they were met with a shocking revelation. Unbeknownst to the humans, the gateway's activation had also drawn the attention of a malevolent force known as the Galactic Empire. This empire, ruthless and oppressive, ruled with an iron fist, crushing any who dared to oppose them. The discovery of the gateway posed a threat to their dominance, and they would stop at nothing to eliminate it. As the Horizon ventured through the gateway, the crew found themselves immersed in a breathtaking tapestry of celestial wonders. They explored vibrant nebulae, traversed asteroid fields teeming with life, and marveled at the majesty of distant galaxies. With each new discovery, the crew's sense of awe and wonder grew, fueling their determination to push further into the uncharted depths of the cosmos. But their journey was abruptly cut short when they encountered a small, isolated human colony. The colony, though peaceful, had been brutally attacked by the Galactic Empire. The sight of the devastation was heart-wrenching, but the most tragic discovery was the lifeless body of a child, a victim of the Empire's ruthless aggression. The sight of the dead child ignited a fire within the crew of the Horizon. Their mission was no longer just about exploration, it was about justice. The death of the innocent child became a rallying cry for the humans, uniting them in their resolve to fight back against the oppressive Galactic Empire. Captain Ramirez, her heart heavy with grief and anger, vowed to avenge the child's death. The crew of the Horizon, now transformed into a band of determined warriors, prepared to face the Empire. They knew the path ahead would be fraught with danger, but their resolve was unbreakable. The humans would not rest until justice was served and the child's death avenged. The rise of the super soldiers. The tragic death of the child galvanized the crew of the Horizon. United by a shared sense of purpose, they sought out a way to fight back against the Galactic Empire. Their search led them to a long-forgotten secret hidden within the depths of human history, the Super Soldier Program. During the early days of humanity's space exploration, scientists had developed a program to create super soldiers, individuals with enhanced physical and mental abilities. The program was abandoned due to ethical concerns, but now, faced with the brutal reality of the Galactic Empire's tyranny, the crew of the Horizon saw it as their best hope for fighting back. With the help of Dr. Elena Pierce, the ship's chief scientist, they began to revive the dormant technology. Dr. Pierce, a brilliant geneticist, worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the super soldier's serum. She knew that the process would be dangerous, but she also knew that it was their only chance to stand against the Empire. As the serum began to take effect, the crew members underwent remarkable transformations. Their strength, speed, and agility increased exponentially, and their cognitive abilities were enhanced to superhuman levels. The once humble crew of the Horizon was now a formidable force, ready to take on the might of the Galactic Empire. Their first target was a remote Imperial outpost, a small but strategic installation that served as a supply hub for the Empire's fleet. The super soldiers, now fully aware of their newfound abilities, launched a daring assault on the outpost. The battle was fierce, but the humans fought with a tenacity and ferocity that the Imperial soldiers had never seen before. Captain Ramirez, leading the charge, demonstrated her tactical genius as she coordinated the attack. The crew's enhanced abilities allowed them to move with incredible speed and precision, overwhelming the Imperial forces. The outpost fell quickly, and the humans seized valuable supplies and intelligence that would aid them in their fight against the Empire. News of the humans' victory spread rapidly, both among their allies and their enemies. The Galactic Empire, once dismissive of the humans, now recognized them as a serious threat. The Empire's leaders, furious at the loss of the outpost, vowed to crush the rebels and maintain their iron grip on the galaxy. Meanwhile, the crew of the Horizon continued their campaign against the Empire. They struck swiftly and decisively, targeting key installations and disrupting the Empire's operations. Each victory brought them closer to their ultimate goal, to bring down the Galactic Empire and secure freedom for all oppressed beings in the galaxy. But the humans knew that their fight was far from over. The Empire was vast and powerful, and their forces were relentless. The crew of the Horizon, now seasoned warriors, steeled themselves for the battles to come. They would face unimaginable challenges and make great sacrifices, but they would not falter. As the stars burned brightly overhead, the humans pressed on, their resolve unbreakable. The death of the child had sparked a revolution, and the super soldiers at the Horizon were determined to see it through to the end. Their journey was just beginning, and the galaxy would soon learn the true power of humanity's indomitable spirit. The Alliance. With the Galactic Empire now aware of the threat posed by the Horizon, Captain Ramirez knew they needed allies. The crew couldn't win this war alone, and the galaxy was filled with civilizations that had also suffered under the Empire's oppression. Ramirez's first target was the Andoran Collective, a group of star systems known for their advanced technology and strategic importance. Ramirez sent a message to the Andoran leader, High Chancellor Zevran, detailing the atrocities committed by the Empire and proposing an alliance. The Andorans, a proud and independent people, had long resisted joining any galactic coalitions. However, the death of the human child and the courage of the Horizon crew struck a chord with Zevran. After a tense negotiation, the Andoran Collective agreed to a meeting. Captain Ramirez, Dr. Pierce, and a small delegation from the Horizon traveled to the Andoran capital, a gleaming city on the planet Andoris Prime. The meeting was held in a grand hall, with representatives from various Andoran factions present. Ramirez spoke passionately about the need for unity in the face of the Empire's tyranny. She highlighted the bravery of her crew and the potential for a future where all species could coexist in peace. High Chancellor Zevran listened intently, his expression unreadable. When Ramirez finished, he stood and addressed the assembly. He acknowledged the suffering his people had endured under the Empire and the valor of the human crew. Zevran then did something unexpected. he pledged the full support of the Andoran collective to the alliance against the Galactic Empire. The alliance with the Andorans was a turning point. With their advanced technology and military might, the Andorans provided crucial support to the human-led resistance. The Horizon's crew and the Andorans worked together to develop new strategies and weapons, integrating their technologies to create a formidable fighting force. As the alliance grew stronger, they began to recruit other civilizations. The Felarians, a species known for their unmatched tactical acumen, joined the cause. The Valerians, experts in covert operations, also pledged their support. Slowly but surely, the resistance against the Galactic Empire swelled in numbers and strength. One of their first joint operations was a daring raid on an Imperial shipyard. This facility was crucial for the Empire's war machine, producing the dreadnoughts that terrorized the galaxy. The operation required careful planning and coordination between the humans, Andorans, Felarians, and Valerians. On the day of the raid, the Resistance fleet emerged from hyperspace, catching the Imperial forces off guard. The super soldiers of the Horizon led the assault, their enhanced abilities giving them an edge in the fierce battle that ensued. Andoran warships provided heavy firepower, while Felarian tacticians directed the attack with precision. Felarian operatives infiltrated the shipyard, sabotaging key systems and sowing chaos among the enemy ranks. The battle was brutal, but the Alliance emerged victorious. The shipyard was destroyed, dealing a significant blow to the Empire's capabilities. More importantly, the raid showcased the strength and unity of the Allied forces. The galaxy took notice, and more civilizations began to rally to their cause. As the alliance grew, so did the Empire's desperation. The Emperor, enraged by the Resistance's successes, ordered a massive counteroffensive. Imperial fleets were dispatched to crush the uprising and reassert their dominance. The Resistance braced for the onslaught, knowing that the coming battles would test their resolve like never before. But the crew of the HES Horizon and their allies remained steadfast. They had come too far to turn back now. The galaxy was at a tipping point, and they were determined to see it through. With their newfound allies and their unyielding spirit, they prepared to face the full might of the Galactic Empire. The fight for freedom had only just begun, and the galaxy would witness the true power of unity and courage in the face of tyranny. The Battle of Andoris Prime. The Galactic Empire's response to the Alliance's growing strength was swift and brutal. Imperial forces converged on Andoris Prime, seeking to crush the heart of the rebellion. The Resistance knew this battle would be critical. Losing Andoris Prime could spell the end of their nascent alliance, but victory here could turn the tide of the war. Captain Ramirez, High Chancellor Zevran, and their combined command staff worked tirelessly to prepare their defenses. Andoris Prime's natural defenses, including its dense asteroid belts and powerful planetary shields, would be crucial in the coming fight. The Resistance fleet was positioned strategically, ready to intercept the Imperial Armada. As the Imperial fleet approached, the tension was palpable. The sky above Andoris Prime darkened with the sheer number of enemy ships. The Empire's flagship, a colossal dreadnought, loomed ominously at the center of the formation. The battle began with a ferocious exchange of fire, lighting up the void of space with explosions and energy blasts. On the ground, the super soldiers of the HES Horizon prepared for the inevitable ground assault. Dr. Pierce had worked tirelessly to refine the super soldier serum, ensuring the troops were at their peak performance. Captain Ramirez led her troops personally, inspiring them with her unwavering determination and tactical brilliance. The Imperial forces landed in waves, but the Resistance was ready. The super soldiers, along with Andoran warriors and Valerian operatives, met the invaders head-on. The battle raged through the streets of Andoris Prime, with neither side willing to give an inch. The Empire's soldiers were well-trained and heavily armed, but they had not anticipated the sheer tenacity and skill of the Allied forces. Above the planet, the space battle reached a fever pitch. Andoran warships clashed with Imperial destroyers, while Valerian tacticians coordinated daring maneuvers to outflank the enemy. The Valerians, experts in subterfuge, executed precise strikes on key imperial vessels, sowing chaos and confusion among the enemy ranks. As the battle wore on, it became clear that the resistance was holding its ground. The imperial forces, though powerful, were stretched thin. The alliance's unity and coordination began to turn the tide. Captain Ramirez, seeing an opportunity, led a decisive counterattack on the ground. Her super soldiers, augmented by Andoran and Valerian support, pushed the imperial forces back, reclaiming key positions and driving the invaders towards their landing zones. In space, the Allied fleet launched a coordinated assault on the imperial flagship. The battle was fierce, but the combined might of the resistance proved overwhelming. The flagship, crippled and burning, attempted to retreat but was intercepted by Andoran warships. With a final devastating barrage, the Imperial flagship was destroyed, sending shockwaves through the remaining enemy forces. The destruction of the flagship and the repulsion of the ground assault marked a turning point. The Imperial fleet, demoralized and leaderless, began to retreat. The Battle of Andoris Prime was a resounding victory for the resistance, a testament to the power of unity and determination. In the aftermath of the battle, the Alliance solidified its position. New recruits flocked to their cause, inspired by the victory and the promise of a galaxy free from imperial tyranny. The leaders of the Alliance, emboldened by their success, began to plan their next moves. The fight was far from over, but they now had the momentum needed to challenge the Empire on all fronts. Captain Ramirez and her crew knew that greater challenges lay ahead. The Galactic Empire was still a formidable foe, and the road to victory would be long and arduous. But with their allies by their side and the spirit of resistance burning brightly, they were ready to face whatever came next. The galaxy had seen the rise of the super soldiers, and their fight for freedom was just beginning. The Shadow War. The victory at Andoris Prime was a significant triumph for the resistance, but it also made the Galactic Empire more determined than ever to quash the uprising. Recognizing the need for a new strategy, Captain Ramirez and her allies turned to the Valerians, whose expertise in covert operations would be crucial in the next phase of their struggle. The Valerians proposed a series of clandestine operations aimed at disrupting the Empire from within. These missions would involve sabotage, intelligence gathering, and targeted strikes against key Imperial assets. The goal was to weaken the Empire's infrastructure and create internal strife, making it easier for the resistance to gain ground. Captain Ramirez assembled a team of elite operatives, including super soldiers and Valerian agents, for these covert missions. Their first target was an Imperial research facility on the remote planet of Karsus, where the Empire was developing a new superweapon. The mission was to infiltrate the facility, gather intelligence on the weapon, and if possible, sabotage its development. The team, led by Ramirez herself, set out in a stealth ship designed by the Andorans. Upon arrival, they encountered heavy security, but their advanced training and abilities allowed them to slip past the defenses. Inside the facility, they discovered the Empire was working on a powerful energy cannon capable of obliterating entire planets. The potential threat this weapon posed was immense. Using their enhanced abilities, the team gathered crucial data and planted explosive charges throughout the facility. Just as they were about to leave, they were discovered by Imperial guards. A fierce firefight ensued, with Ramirez and her team fighting desperately to escape. Despite heavy resistance, they managed to reach their extraction point and escape just as the facility exploded in a massive fireball. The successful mission at Karsus provided the resistance with valuable intelligence and dealt a significant blow to the Empire's plans. It also proved the effectiveness of their new covert strategy. Over the following months, the resistance carried out numerous similar operations, striking at the heart of the Empire's war machine. One of the most daring operations was the infiltration of the Imperial capital on Corvus Prime. The mission's objective was to steal a list of high-ranking Imperial officials and collaborators, which would allow the resistance to target the Empire's leadership directly. The operation was incredibly risky, as Corvus Prime was heavily fortified and swarming with Imperial troops. Disguised as Imperial officers, Ramirez and her team infiltrated the capital. They navigated through the city's labyrinthine streets and security checkpoints, relying on their wits and enhanced abilities to avoid detection. Inside the Imperial Palace, they located the data vault containing the list. However, the vault was protected by a formidable security system. Dr. Pierce, working remotely, provided crucial technical support to bypass the security. The team retrieved the list and transmitted it to the Resistance Command. As they made their escape, they were pursued by Imperial forces. In a high-speed chase through the capital's streets, they narrowly avoided capture and returned to the safety of their ship. The stolen list proved invaluable, enabling the Resistance to launch targeted strikes against key Imperial figures. This, in turn, sowed chaos and fear within the Empire's ranks, further weakening their control. The Resistance's shadow war was proving highly effective, and the tide of the conflict was slowly turning in their favor. However, the Empire was not idle. In response to the Resistance's successes, they deployed a new weapon, advanced combat droids designed specifically to counter the super soldiers' abilities. These droids, known as enforcers, were equipped with state-of-the-art technology and programmed for relentless efficiency. The enforcers posed a serious threat to the Resistance. In their first encounter, the super soldiers found themselves evenly matched. The droids' strength, speed, and tactical acumen were on par with their own, and their unyielding nature made them formidable opponents. The battle was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Realizing the need to adapt, Captain Ramirez and Dr. Pierce worked together to develop new strategies and technologies to counter the enforcers. They upgraded the super soldiers' equipment and refined their training, focusing on exploiting the droids' few weaknesses. With each engagement, the Resistance learned more about their enemy and improved their tactics. The shadow war continued, with both sides locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse. The Resistance's operations became more daring, targeting the Empire's most critical assets. The Galactic Empire, once seen as invincible, was now on the defensive, struggling to maintain its grip on the galaxy. The turning point. As the Shadow War raged on, the Resistance's efforts began to pay off. The Galactic Empire, strained by the constant attacks and internal strife, started to show signs of cracking. The morale of Imperial troops waned, and uprisings began to break out on several occupied worlds. The tide was slowly but surely turning in favor of the Resistance. Amidst this backdrop, Captain Ramirez and her allies prepared for a decisive strike. Intelligence gathered by the Valarians revealed the location of the Empire's primary command center, a heavily fortified station orbiting the planet Nemos. Taking out this command center would deal a crippling blow to the Empire's ability to coordinate its forces. The plan was audacious and fraught with danger. The Resistance fleet would launch a full-scale assault on the command center, while a specially trained team infiltrated the station to disable its defenses from within. The element of surprise was crucial, and the timing had to be perfect. As the Resistance fleet emerged from hyperspace, the battle began. The skies over Nemos lit up with the fury of combat. Andoran warships and Thalarian strike craft engaged Imperial vessels in a fierce exchange of fire. The super soldiers of the Horizon, equipped with the latest upgrades, led the charge on the ground. Inside the command center, Ramirez and her team moved with precision and stealth. They navigated the labyrinthine corridors, neutralizing guards and avoiding detection. Dr. Pierce, monitoring their progress from the horizon, provided real-time support, guiding them through the station's security systems. The team reached the central control room, where they encountered fierce resistance. The Imperial officers in charge of the station fought desperately to protect their stronghold. The battle was intense, but Ramirez and her team, fueled by their determination and enhanced abilities, overcame the defenders. With the control room secured, they began to disable the station's defenses. Alarms blared as the station's systems were systematically shut down. Outside, the Imperial fleet, suddenly vulnerable, was overwhelmed by the coordinated assault of the resistance forces. One by one, the Imperial ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The destruction of the command center was a devastating blow to the Empire. Without centralized command, the coordination of their forces faltered. The resistance seized the opportunity to press their advantage, launching attacks on key Imperial positions across the galaxy. The momentum had shifted decisively in their favor. News of the victory at Nemo's spread like wildfire. Occupied worlds saw it as a sign of hope, and resistance movements sprang up everywhere. The Galactic Empire, once thought to be unassailable, was now reeling from the relentless assault of the unified resistance. The dream of a galaxy free from tyranny was becoming a reality. The final battle. With the Galactic Empire on the brink of collapse, the resistance prepared for the final push. Their ultimate target was the Imperial capital, the seat of the Emperor's power. This heavily fortified planet was the heart of the Empire's tyranny, and its fall would mark the end of the war. The Resistance fleet, now a formidable armada of ships from various allied species, gathered for the assault. Captain Ramirez, leading the charge, addressed her troops with a stirring speech. She spoke of the sacrifices made, the battles won, and the hope for a future free from oppression. Her words resonated with everyone, steeling their resolve for the battle ahead. The assault on the Imperial capital was the largest and most intense battle of the war. The Resistance fleet clashed with the Empire's remaining forces in a colossal space battle. On the ground, the super soldiers and their allies launched a coordinated attack on the city's defenses. The fighting was brutal and relentless. The Empire, desperate to hold on to power, fought with a ferocity born of desperation. But the Resistance, driven by their vision of a better future, pressed on. The super soldiers, now seasoned warriors, led the charge, their enhanced abilities giving them the edge in the fierce combat. Captain Ramirez and her team fought their way to the Imperial Palace, where the final showdown with the Emperor awaited. The palace was a fortress, guarded by the Empire's elite troops and advanced security systems. The battle to breach its defenses was grueling, with every inch gained paid for in blood. Inside the palace, Ramirez and her team confronted the Emperor. The tyrant, a figure of immense power and cruelty, was determined to crush the rebellion personally. The battle was intense, with the Emperor using his dark abilities to try and overpower the resistance fighters. But Ramirez, fueled by the memories of those who had fallen and the hope of those still fighting, refused to yield. In a final, desperate struggle, she managed to strike down the Emperor, ending his reign of terror once and for all. With the Emperor's death, the last remnants of the Empire's resistance crumbled. The Imperial capital fell to the resistance, and the galaxy erupted in celebration. The war was over, and the dream of a free galaxy had become a reality. In the aftermath, Captain Ramirez and her crew were hailed as heroes. The alliances forged in the crucible of war held strong, and together they began the work of rebuilding. The galaxy, scared but hopeful, looked to the future with optimism. The super soldiers of the HFY, their mission accomplished, were given the chance to return to their lives or continue serving in the new,